do something for you, Mr. Bond?
Just a drink. A martini, shaken not.
Welcome to Shaken Not Nerd, the podcast where we discuss nerdy events and news. My name is Ian Huge Footlong Johnson, and my co-host, as always, is Alex Doody Dutram.
It's pretty smelly.
Ew. Ew. Tonight's podcast, we are going with the theme of...
Our favourite dynamic duos. Stoner duos.
Stoner comedy.
Stoner comedy, yeah.
Stoner comedy.
With the review of... What are we reviewing this weekend? What movie did we both be like, we need to see it?
That would be Sausage Party.
It was pretty sausagey.
It was pretty sausagey. And it was about everything you would expect from a good Seth Rogen movie.
Sex, food, drugs.
Drugs. Inappropriate jokes. Drugs.
Talking vegetables.
And James Franco.
Yes, and James Franco.
So to kick things off, we're going to head into the news.
Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor, Ron Burgundy.
Ian, did you know that there's another Sherlock Holmes film coming out?
I didn't.
Well, yeah.
Until you told me.
Until I told you. Yeah. But it's not with our mates Benedict Cucumber Sandwich or Robert Downey Jr. It's with John C. Reilly as Watson and Will Ferrell as Sherlock Holmes.
It's going to be fucking awesome. Already love it.
They're here to fuck shit up. I would just love to see John C. Reilly just with a mustache and a hat pretending to be a doctor and just fucking things up royally.
Yeah, I can see this going well.
This is going to be the 1800s Step Brothers.
Step Brothers go back in time to solve crime.
You have to call me, what was it, Dragon Warrior?
Shark Week.
So that's the news in relation to that. I'm looking forward to it, but I also fear that it could be a film that just goes nowhere and flops. But at least it's not with Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson.
It could be a semi-pro.
I never saw semi-pro.
Exactly.
Yeah, I never saw that one, but I thought it could be something like Zoolander 2, where it went
just kind of
slack
did
water.
not live up to what people's expectations were. It's been a while, I can remember, since a John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell collab.
Anchorman 2. They're both in Anchorman 2.
Yeah.
Because I told you
But
John C.
they weren't-
Reilly was going to be in it, and he was in it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call that like a... They're not main characters. Like he
Yeah,
just kind of
true.
makes an appearance.
I wouldn't be surprised in the film, though, if they have Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch somewhere in the film. They're like,
I would be surprised
they're
to see
like
that.
drunks, or they're the bad guys or something.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I wonder if they're allowed to do it, though, or whether they're not allowed to actually tarnish their Sherlock Holmes names by merging the worlds together.
Oh, I have a wee bit of fun with it. In other news, actress Zendaya, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
You say that every week.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm
yeah.
I believe it's pronounced Johan. John. Johan.
They have revealed who Mary Jane is going to be for the new Spider-Man film.
This did pop up on my newsfeed.
Did you look
I
at
have
it on your
no idea who
newsfeed?
she is, but
A lot of fans are in uproar because it's not a traditional look to Mary Jane, but
because she's not white, is what you're saying?
a lot of people are angry because of that, and I actually see there's no problem with it.
No, she's not. Like I don't see a problem with it either. Like, I think she's going to be good. Like, there's just nothing I really know about her yet. I haven't, off the top of my head, I can't remember her being in anything. But from what I looked into, I don't like the look of the way they're going to style her and everything. I think it's going to work pretty well.
Well, for Mary Jane, you just need someone pretty. Like, you look at, the casting choices that Marvel have done in the past that worked out, like, let's go from Edward Norton to Mark Ruffalo, and that worked pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a lot of things recently where they're trying to change the traditional look of things, hence Ghostbusters with an all-female cast.
Yes.
Following that, have you heard that? I heard this, I'm not sure if it's actually rumour or fact at this stage, but along with the all-female Ghostbusters cast, they're doing another remake with an all-female cast. Ocean's 11.
I haven't seen any of the Ocean's
But they're
films.
going to do it as Ocean's 8, I believe, and an all-female cast.
What are the Ocean films about?
Robbery. Basically, it's just a heist film. Just
Okay.
a heist film with, like, A-grade actors. So, I don't understand why they're going with the all-female cast. Ghostbusters, I can understand it was an all-male cast, so you're swapping Alice's head. But the Ocean's 11 film was not all male. Anyway.
Wasn't it majority male and one female cast? Maybe they'll just have George Clooney as the one male. In the film.
George Clooney returns for another Ocean's film.
Woo! Oh, yeah, they didn't faze me at all. They were just meh. Did you know, Ian? You probably didn't. But you might have. Vin Diesel confirms that the Guardians of the Galaxy will be in the Infinity War.
Interesting. I mean, everyone already figured that anyway, but...
I want to see Rocket on the Hulk's back.
Yeah,
That
I would like
be
to see that.
Awesome. I'd like
Good
to...
vantage point from up there. Wind, bit of a sea breeze, but...
but Groot gets taller. He gets taller in the films. Like when he has to get the...
He doesn't get Hulk tall, though.
Yeah, but the Hulk's not that tall.
He's taller than a tree.
Nah, I reckon Groot's tall. Because Groot expands his legs when he gets that power battery call thing out of the wall.
Oh,
remember?
true, yeah.
So-
Yeah, but he wasn't on his back at that point. He wasn't on his back when he did that.
No. But I reckon you still have Iron Man and Gamora. Iron Man will go to hit on Gamora or something like that. Because that's what happens in the books.
Well, Pepper Potts is kind of out of the picture going by the
Civil
last
War, yeah.
Civil War movie. So maybe they're trying to turn him back into a player again.
That would be awesome.
I did miss...
I'd like to bring back Prima Nocta. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Guardians in the Avengers Infinity War. I actually said Avengers, not Justice League Infinity War.
Oh, well done, you're improving.
Yeah.
You're almost a professional. Speaking of professional, we're not in a mattress fort this time.
Oh my god, Ian has done some outstanding work by one, buying a new mic. Two, he's built us these little foam boxes, and we'll take a photo of it and we'll put it on our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Facebook, so you can see the hard work that Ian's gone into.
We're almost real people now.
It sort of looks like if we had a pet snake, this would be an insane room for them with the padding of the walls and stuff. But
I feel a little crazy just being near you. But
at least we're not. At least we're not.
terrible joke.
At least we're not sweating in the mattress floor.
Yeah, true.
Ian, what else is new? You sent me some new things. Some news
Yes,
this morning.
a lot of people are very excited about the Titanfall multiplayer beta that has just been released.
Now, what is Titanfall? I don't know a thing about Titanfall.
Oh, you fucking liar. Titanfall, the original Titanfall only got released on Xbox One. I believe from memory it was a Xbox launch game, or it was very close to launch at least. It's basically, if anyone ever played MechWarrior...
I played MechWarrior, yes.
Yeah, it's a lot like that. You've basically got giant robots, which in this case are called Titans. You jump into them. It's kind of Call of Duty with robots. And they're making a sequel that's coming out very shortly, Titanfall 2, where they are also introducing a campaign that everyone already knows about. But the multiplayer beta just got released, so people are testing it, and I've heard some very good things, some very good feedback.
We have a colleague of ours that really wants us all to download and play the beta so we can all just...
Yeah, I think it was like 8 a.m. this morning. Everyone, get on Titanfall.
I just can't be bothered. It comes out in a month or two. I'll just
Pretty short, I think. Yeah.
buy it then. What else do we have for news? New photos of Doctor Strange for the Doctor Strange film. It's essentially just still photos of what's going to be in the movie.
Benedict.
I'm just a little concerned how they're going to do the magic, because I still reckon when he does his spells and he's got his little like orange or green shields up, they look weird.
I think it's going to look good.
I think it'll be hard to translate.
You've got a
that from
Disney
comic.
budget for magic, so it's not going to look like crap. You've already got, like, how good Galaxy got pulled off, Guardians of the Galaxy. that
Yeah.
is. And everyone didn't even know who those characters were. No one really, apart from, obviously, that community, knows who Doctor Strange is. It's going to be a very different film, I think. A lot of people are going to be surprised that it's not that similar to a lot of the other Avengers universe movies.
Yeah, I'm a little curious here and there. I did notice some cool things. Apparently, when he uses his magic, his amulet lights up, and people think there's an Infinity Stone in his amulet. That's what I read online. One of my theories was that they say in the Winter Soldier film that Hydra is interested in certain people, and the guy is getting interrogated on the roof. Remember, they go to throw him off, and the Falcon catches him, and that's when you see the Falcon for the first time. But he says they're interested in Stephen Strange.
Yeah.
And that's the first time people have gone, oh, cool, so Doctor Strange exists in this universe. My thoughts are that Hydra will try to kill him, which will cause the car accident, which causes his hands to get all fucked.
Oh, that wouldn't... Yeah, that makes sense.
I wouldn't put it past me for...
We do know that he
gets in a car accident.
Gets in a car accident. That's what we're
and
going to
buggers
say.
his hands. So it wouldn't surprise me if Marvel change a wee bit of the story for that to fit in, because Hydra appears to just be this bad guy for everyone, sort of now.
Yeah, it would really tie the two universes together, and at least it would make sense linking them together as well.
Yeah, because you had Hydra as the bad guy in the Captain films, Avengers 2 at the start, it was Hydra. You had it for Ant-Man, Hydra was the bad guy. So it wouldn't surprise me if Doctor Strange had Hydra was the starting off bad guy before Hannibal comes in.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to link Hydra in the Infinity War movie. When we get a supervillain coming in, how are they going to merge that with...
I reckon they'll bring back Red Skull.
You reckon?
Tesseract was a teleportation cube, wasn't it? He
Yeah.
picks it up and just you get shot into the sky. So I reckon he's alive, but I'm hoping. I liked Red Skull as a character. I thought it was cool.
Oh, I just don't know how they're going to merge that with Thanos. Yeah. Not sure how they're going to merge him with Thanos. It's, like, very different. I'm sure they'll find some way. Maybe they meet Thanos communicates with them to
Organise an attack or something.
Who knows?
Speaking of Marvel news, you got some Marvel news.
I do. Thor Ragnarok. Am I saying that right?
Ragnarok?
I don't know, man. Thor. The new Thor movie.
The one with the Hulk?
Yeah. Thor and the Hulk.
What is
Throlk.
Throlk?
Throlk?
Yeah.
Got a throlking headache.
Whore? Yes, what's the news? For
The news-
we Australians have some
Yes.
news.
So, as many people would know, the new Thor movie is filming in Australia. It's filming in Brisbane, primarily, I believe. And it's about to kick off filming in Brisbane CBD, which is about to shut down a lot of roads very shortly. So it's exciting to know, but at the same time, I'm glad I'm down in Melbourne, so I don't have to deal with that shit.
Yeah, well, mind you have Thor, which is being filmed in Brisbane. I think it's Sydney, Brisbane. And, like, what has Melbourne had? Is there, like, big, monumental comic book movies filmed here? Fucking Ghost Rider.
Let's just pretend that never happened.
Okay.
Oh, the bees!
The bees! In other news, Suicide Squad passes 500 million worldwide. And for a lot of people going, oh, it's too much of a comic book movie. That was an actual critics review.
What?
For a comic book movie. It's too much of a
Doesn't
comic book
make
movie.
any sense to me.
It's made 500 million worldwide.
Yeah,
That's
so obviously
pretty good.
people are still seeing it and enjoying it. So there's just such a big difference in the reviews that are coming out. It's very strange. People are all over the place with this one. They either love it or hate it. And
We've given our thoughts on it.
yeah, we've given our thoughts on it. And I've spoken to many people who obviously believe different to us after seeing the movie, which is understandable. I can see both sides of the coin. I just enjoyed it.
I think one of our listeners, CJ, wasn't happy that I said Leto over Ledger. He just couldn't wrap his head around it.
What are you saying? Yeah, you are an idiot, though.
Thanks. Look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but, it's not a fight for who's the best Joker, it's who's the second best Joker. Because Hamill always wins.
Voice acting's different.
No. Henry Cavill also tweeted a photo of a black and white Superman S. Did you see that photo?
I did see that photo.
I
It's more
think-
black than white.
I think it was a fake. I think he just put a black and white filter on his costume and just took a photo of the S, being like, ooh, nah. I don't reckon it's a. I think it's just the photo. It's a photo of his current costume with a black and white filter on it.
Could be.
I'd like to see them. You know the story of why he wears a black and white.
No.
Essentially, because he's not dead. He comes back wearing a black Superman costume with a black and white S instead of the colours, and he's got a mullet because his hair grows because he's dead. So he's got
Okay.
longer hair and a beard, and he's wearing a black Superman suit, pretty much.
Well, they might do it. It would make sense.
Sort of like that scene in Man of Steel when he's tripping out because
Yeah.
this is Stoner Week when Superman's tripping out with Zod and he's wearing the black. Can you remember what he's wearing?
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
But he's got a mullet and a beard. Prince Steel's got a beard. He's got a mullet. I know he's got a mullet.
Well, he'll probably wear a beard again because
He looks alright with a beard.
yeah, he looks alright with a beard, and it was so controversial when the first Man of Steel movie came out.
Oh, yeah.
How does he shave?
He fires his heat vision into a mirror. God. Yeah, you think about that. Like, let's take little Clark Kent down to the local hairdresser to get his hair cut, and the hairdresser's going, I'm
You're
fucking working.
broken, my scissors.
So I think that's the news for the week, unless you had anything else, Ian.
Nothing else to add. So we're going to jump into our Twitter poll results now.
The politics of failure have failed. We need to make them work again. Tomorrow, when you are sealed in the voting cubicle, vote for me, Senator Bob Dole.
All right. So, Ian, this week's theme being stoner comedies, brought to you by Ian thinking of the theme of the week. We decided, look, we want to know what your favourite duo of, well, stoner duos are.
Who's your favourite stoners?
We received, well, I don't know about you, but we received a lot of messages saying, where's Cheech and Chong?
Yeah.
We want to state this straight out of the box. They're not in the list because they're the creators of the genre.
They are the Godfather.
You're not going to say who's the best spy when Bond is...
Yeah. And if anyone says that Bond isn't the best spy, you're a fucking idiot.
Yes. we don't like to insult our viewers. Bond. I was listening to a podcast during the week and they were saying who their favourite Bond was and no one mentioned Connery.
What?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the same thing as what we're going with Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
Sean Connery's in, like, neck level.
Sean Connery is like, you don't mention him because it's like Mark Hamill is a joker. You just don't mention him because everyone knows he's the greatest.
Yeah, alright. It's a little different, but
I
okay.
am the greatest. So, we had a viewing of... We had a selection of 4 as per the norm, for those of you who are unaware. And coming in at last place is Ted and John from the Ted films, Seth MacFarlane and Marky Mark Wahlberg.
What the fuck? Holy shit, dude, what's the matter? What happened? What's going on?
There's so much porn!
Well, what the hell are you doing looking at my private shit?
What are you talking about? Private shit, Johnny? It was wide open. There were literally thousands of files here.
Well, I've been meaning to clear some of that out.
Jesus Christ, look at the organization here. Clockwise rim job, counterclockwise rim job.
Yeah, well, sometimes you like seeing the tongue go the other way.
You sick bastard. Look at this. Chicks with dicks.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I have a disease, all right? I need help.
There are no chicks with dicks, Johnny. Only guys with tits.
So, look, I wanted to put them on the list. I thought they're not iconic, but they're fucking hilarious.
I think a lot of people do love those movies. There's only 2 of them, but they do already have quite a following, really.
And then just
look at how many of those teddy bears have been sold. A shit ton.
And they're expensive as well.
Yeah, they're good teddy bears. Good quality.
So coming in at number 3, I quite like these fellas, Harold and Kumar.
Break from the chain. Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye. Until then, baby, are you gonna let him hold you down and make you cry?
How many films have they done together?
Oh, fuck, I want to say 3.
They had the Christmas special as well.
So they had the first one, they Escape Out of Guantanamo Bay was the second one, and I think the third one's a Christmas special.
Okay.
Like, if you watch it again recently, you notice, like, people you shouldn't notice.
All the celebrities thrown in.
Yeah. Look, I'm quite happy. Coming in at 3rd place, your pick. Go on.
Franco and Rogan. Insert laugh here.
So that's Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Yes.
So what would you say, because they're your pick?
Everyone's going to know it straight away. They're automatically going to go Pineapple Express. But they've done so many other movies together as well. Even if they're not starring one or the other, they tend to be involved more so than you might think.
Like a Rob Schneider and Adam Sandler?
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're kind of like modern day.
Modern day. If you had to pick a favourite part out of Pineapple, do you know anything?
Out of Pineapple Express?
Because, Pineapple's going to be probably the main one that everyone's going to jump to.
Yeah, let's go with that one then.
Do you have a favourite part?
My pick would have to be just when you first get introduced to Franco and they're on the couch and you see the cross joint.
What the fuck is this thing?
Cross joint.
Yeah.
Never smoked one of those?
You can smoke this?
Hell yeah, man.
No.
This is the future. This is like the apex of the vortex of joint engineering.
And coming in at number 1, I fucking told you they'd come first, besides Cheech and Chong. I fucking told you they were the best. And look, 61% of the votes, Jay and Silent Bob.
Fuck, motherfuck, noise. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, noise. Smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers, rolling fatties, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts. Rolling blunts and smoking.
Yeah, right.
Fuck you, man.
You were
They
right.
are fucking awesome. You've got them in Mallrats, you've got them in Cloaks 1 and 2, you've got them in their own Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, Chasing Amy, Dogma. Man, fucking get on it.
Yeah, but... Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin Smith directs his own film and has, like, one line in the entire film.
Yeah, it's another reason why I don't... Yeah.
I fucking love it. So
But yeah, there are a lot of other ones that we couldn't put on our poll. There are a lot.
There was Craig and Smokey from the Friday films.
Damn! Yeah.
Oh,
great. Yeah.
I didn't want to put them on.
He's only in the first film. And
Smokey's only in the first film.
So that's why we didn't put them in, because then, you know, to be a duo, we had the feeling that you kind of had to be in more than one film together to be solidified as a duo.
Yes.
Other one that maybe a bit more outside the box, Scooby-Doo and
Shaggy.
Shaggy? Look! Zoinks!
Well, yeah, you could have done them, like, constant fucking munchies. And he just looks so tired, you can't see his pupils. He's just like, zoinks! One of my favourites. They're only in one film, so you can't put them in there yet again. I think you only see one of them do weed on screen. Is Walter and the dude from The Big Lebowski.
I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or Duder or, you know, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Yeah, because you don't really see Walter doing...
No, he just constantly does whatever he can to bring up Nam in any conversation.
Yeah.
But I just...
That was requested as well.
Yeah. By myself. That's one of my favourite movies. I fucking love it.
Good movies.
But I think that's all we have, so we might go on to our Sausage Party review. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Any characters you thought should have been on the list?
No. Alright, so now we're going to jump into our Sausage Party review.
Get ready, boys!
Feels amazing!
Oh, yes, I'm the first to enter eternity. The pipes are coming. Oh, Jesus, fuck! Oh, gummy skin! She's peeling me fucking stuff! Fuck! They're eating children! Fucking children!
Ian, we went and saw a movie this week.
We did, as per
as per the weekly schedule. So... Every week, I ask you the same question when it comes to a movie review. What's the story for Sausage Party? The movie we saw. The movie's not the one you rented at home.
I don't know then. Propeller?
Backdoor slat
So a
snack.
guy comes in and he says, "Here's your pizza."
Okay, so...
Boom, boom, boom.
What do you...
Sausage Party. Anyway, I'm getting off track.
Yeah.
Sausage Party. So, the story for Sausage Party. It's an animated film with, obviously, a lot of similarities to Pixar films. Only never, ever, ever take a child to this, or you will probably be shunned by the entire community.
I saw a kid in my movie
There
theater.
was a kid in mine as well. I don't know why on earth anyone would do this.
I just saw the parents and went, what the fuck are they doing in here?
Idiots. Especially at the end when there's just a very, very graphic adult scene.
Graphic doesn't quite cut it.
So, storyline. This is kind of hard to explain, but it's going to sound really stupid because it's animated. So you've got a sausage in a packet, right? So you've got a sausage in a packet, and you've also got buns in a package. And, in a package. They're in a shopping centre, and primarily... this film is primarily inside of a shopping centre. There are some characters that go outside of the shopping centre, but majority of it is inside it. And it's all about, they have this belief, all the food inside the entire shopping centre, they have this belief that when they get bought by somebody, that they are going to heaven. They go into this amazing place and they got picked. What is the word they used to describe it?
The Great Beyond.
The Great Beyond.
Oh, we've gone to the Great Beyond!
And they think it's going to be amazing, but the secret gets out when an item gets returned.
Yes, someone accidentally buys normal honey mustard instead of normal mustard and it gets returned.
However, he's already seen what happens to food, so he comes back and spreads the word about how horrible the Great Beyond actually is. We eat them. So the story kind of progresses from there. It's kind of hard to explain.
It's
there is a villain. He's a total douche.
For those of you who aren't aware, the villain is a legitimate douche. I didn't know you could buy them in supermarkets.
Apparently you can.
Maybe just in US ones. Okay, tell me what you thought about Pros-wise.
Give me compliments. I said give me compliments. Bitte schnell.
Pros-wise, I would say I was very impressed actually with the animation. I've heard some mixed things about the animation and animators not being paid and or credited in this film.
Okay.
Only half of them apparently were actually credited, and then if you go into IMDb, apparently there's another 30 animators that didn't actually get credited on the screen that did the work, and they weren't getting paid for overtime.
Yeah.
So there was a lot going on behind the scenes, and also the fact that it's not Pixar or a well-known animation company. It was actually produced pretty well, and it looked, pretty schmick considering that. Another pro, I would say, is obviously the humour.
No, you picked my pro. You
You can't not talk about the humour, though.
As soon as the movie starts, you're like, okay, it's cool, it's kind of happy, and then I think the first line out of like the main character's mouth is "fuck," and you're just like, holy crap, that's right, this is an adult film.
Oh yeah.
And they're just serving insults at each other, like, you're a fucking cunt. And I'm just like, oh, what am I? Oh, like you get swept away in it thinking like, oh yeah, it's a happy animated film because they haven't sworn for 2 minutes.
It's a little bit to get your head around.
Yes.
It does have a song in it, but I was kind of thrown off by that. But the song in it is pretty good. The
morning song.
Yeah, it's a good intro to the whole movie as a whole. Yeah, it had a good song. I expected songs to continue after that, though, so it threw me off a little.
To be a bit of a musical here and there.
Yeah, it only really had that original music number and then a few other songs scattered throughout it. So that kind of threw me off a little. I expected more. If you're going to start off basically with a musical, people are going to expect that you're keeping that up the whole way through.
There was another song later on in the film, though, so Calm Your Farm.
Written by them?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still another musical.
Your pros?
I like that depending on what... Because all the food talks in the film. Depending on what the food was, depended on the accent that the food had. It was fucking awesome. Like, they pick up a potato, and the potato's Irish. They pick up... There's curry paste talking, and it's Indian. And they depict Jews as juice.
Witty wordplay.
So there's like... What was the way that the song starts off in the film is it shows sort of like the different continents and stuff like that. And one of them is German food. I can't remember what it was. It was like sauce or something like that.
It was some kind of a bottled
It was
something.
a bottled something. And they were acting like Nazis, and there was a Hitler one. And they wanted to kill the juice. And the juice bottles were scared of the German food. So I'm like, that's kind of funny, like the way they were doing it and setting things up.
Yeah,
like,
but I think that also linked in really well to actually the theme, the point, the message they were trying to get across. I don't know if you picked up on it. I don't know how simple your brain is. No, I'm just kidding. Tumbleweed. No, there was an ongoing message, and that was about differences and beliefs.
Yes,
A lot
okay,
about
yes.
beliefs. And because there was this idea of heaven and the afterlife.
With if you get selected by
selected
by a person shopping at the shop, that was being like selected by a god.
There was a lot about beliefs in this, and the real message was that everyone has different beliefs, and we have to work together and communicate these in an effective way. And it was a nice, actual, good, nice meaning, a kind of theme that you would have in a Disney film, but with a lot of fucks thrown in. There was a lot about race.
Yeah, it was sort of like a very, very adult version of Zootopia in relation to how Zootopia dealt with the
racial themes
very well in Zootopia, and the start of this film dealt with it in a comical aspect, and then at the end of it, it just rams it home with the sort of working together.
Yeah, it did. At the end, it really did pump that message. It was nice to have that message behind stoner comedy. It's not often you kind of get those two things mixed together. But
I like, because, like you said, the movie is based, depending on what character that the movie is following inside a supermarket, depending on what aisle they went to, depending on what area of the world they're in. So they went to the Mexican aisle, and of course everything was set out like Mexico. There was like refried beans sitting in the corner. There was a female taco played by Selma Hayek.
It was a lesbian.
It was a
lesbian taco.
Yeah.
Yes. Everything you think. Yes.
There's one of the bad guys, and it's a bottle of tequila, and it's trying to lead the group of this film astray. And the tequila bottle goes, "You can trust me. What's not to trust?" And I've just pointed to my fiance, going, "How ironic is that?" Tequila saying, "You can trust me."
I've made that mistake. I've made that mistake, drinking it straight from the bottle and vomiting black. Nobody trusts tequila.
Was it one of the times you got drunk? You just walked around with a bottle of tequila in one hand and a full
lemon in the other.
Walking around just eating a lemon and just drinking tequila.
My liver hated me. Just drink a sweet. I thought I was measuring a shot in my mouth and having a lemon. No. I was just chugging the bottle.
They also, the best fucking aisle was the alcohol aisle. Because essentially, when the doors close, people can go off their shelves and sort of mingle and stuff like that. And
Toy Story. Think Toy Story.
Yeah. And the alcohol, everyone's just pissed. And there's there's 6 packs of cans, and they're all taped at the top because they've got that rubber plasticky thing around the caps. And there's just like Canadian beer walking into people, going, "Sorry," as they're walking into everyone. I can't remember any of the other booze bottles. There was like vodka and tequila and the normal beer and stuff like that. I think one of the DJs was Jamaican rum, and it had a Jamaican Rastafarian hat on or something.
Yeah, it was pretty smart the way they linked all the racial foods to the races.
It was kind of the way they did it. The way they did it was kind of cool, because that way, otherwise, you just have characters that have no personality. I find.
Yeah, they did well.
Were there any other pros you had? Because I'm not showing you my con list.
No, alright, let's move into cons then.
Disappointed!
What's your first con, Ian?
My first con is that I don't think that this film kept its
message, theme.
It kept its theme, and it just didn't keep the comedy the whole way through.
Oh, okay.
One moment it would be hilarious, joke after joke, and then it would have a slow moment. It just the movie wasn't paced very well in that sense. It wasn't perfectly paced. You had some parts where you're just waiting for jokes to happen, but overall, it was a very funny movie. So don't take away from that going, "Oh, there must have been no jokes." No, there were constant jokes, but there were areas where the film really slowed, and I felt going, nothing's really happening here.
Yeah, it was a slow part for too long.
Yeah.
It's like, I understand having a slow part, but yeah, it went for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so, maybe.
Yeah. It's just, the comedy style is it's great, but it doesn't lend well to a storyline of this nature.
One of my cons, that sex scene. So the main characters in this film, if you're unaware, is essentially Seth Rogen is a sausage, Kristen Wiig is a sausage bun, and they're destined to be together. If you can't tell,
the whole way through you're waiting
for
the sausage to jump into the bun,
because that's what they believe their greater beyond is. They're going to get picked together, and they're excited for their moments together. And
they don't even hint at it. They straight out say,
yeah,
"We're going to have sex."
And
just the tip.
Just the sausage bun's mouth looks like a vagina, just talking.
Yeah.
So they have the sort of an end battle sort of fight, but they had like a Team America sort of awkwardness sex scene where it's like, okay, yeah, I was waiting for this to happen,
and then it ramped it up to a whole nother level.
Holy shit. It was just like the sausage and bun are doing it, and then every item in the supermarket is watching them because they're not being very quiet about it, and then everyone else just joins in.
Oh, it's pretty messed up.
It's like a bagel and a wrap do it.
I didn't know how to feel.
I was The only thing I could do was look at my fiance and the look on her face. It was like utensils were being used in ways that I could not have imagined them being. Like, I think it was a bathtub plug with the chain on the end of it was being pulled out of the hot dog bun's ass, and it was just...
It was very full on.
And there were kids watching the film in mine, and
they weren't kids when they walked out.
They're just holding their cup of cocoa, just shaking it, all the ice is shaking. It went on for like 10 to 15 minutes.
It felt like it was going for a long time.
So long.
Very in-depth.
It was like there was a radish being blown by a freaking mushroom, and...
It was very full on. And it wasn't necessarily comical the whole time. It was just...
It was sort of like seeing your parents mount each other. You're just like...
A little bit of inside of me, it was just like, this is a Pixar movie still.
Yeah.
Like, they can't do this. It's wrong. It's wrong.
It's wrong. Yeah, the sex scenes in that were just...
It was very awkward.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people that walked away loving that scene.
Like, at first, because, it's just the sausage and the bun, and you laugh. You're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, Team America. And then it's like, if Team America smoked crack...
Team America
inhale
did bath salts.
If Team America melted down bath salt and injected it into them, which is part of the story for this, like, I don't even think you could find shit like this on the internet or something.
This is worse than hentai.
It was.
Dutram's seen a lot of shit.
You don't have a fucking clue. Any cons for you?
I did my cons at the start.
I found the character, the douche, was funny, but then he just did nothing. Like, he was getting jacked up and jacked up and jacked up because he was he drank the penis of a juice box.
That was pretty funny.
To get bigger. And essentially the douche gets full of juice and vodka and he eats this giant thing and he just becomes this buff thing and then he disappears for like 2/3 of the film. You just see him get jacked up, disappears, jacked up, disappears.
Yeah.
And then the end he comes out.
Yeah, it seemed like they were building him up to do a lot more as a character and then I don't know, maybe they edited something out in the end. Because it did feel like he disappeared for a long while towards the second half of the film. He was built up as a really fun, interesting antagonist and then disappeared until the end fight scene. So it was a bit strange for me as well.
Were there any favourite parts of the film that you liked?
I really liked the parts where they had food talking.
Moron. So no, what about...
James Franco plays a druggie in this who
does...
he decides to do bath salts. He's a human. He's a human, I should point that out.
Yeah.
He decides to do bath salts, and it's hilarious.
Apparently it's the new drug in this world order that people put bath salts onto a spoon, melt it down and inject it, which causes him to trip out.
Which becomes a pretty major point in the film.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny.
I loved the alcohol aisle. There's just all these different types of booze, like origination and whatnot like that, and they're just different accents and characters and stuff. But there's essentially, because food has an expiry date, there are items in the supermarket that are non-perishables, and they're the old people, and they know that getting picked by people, you're going to go get killed and whatnot like that.
They've been around literally forever because they're non-perishables.
Yeah, and one of the non-perishables was a Twinkie. I fucking lost my shit. It's a bottle of cinnamon. It's called Firewater. It was like cinnamon booze.
Yeah.
It's a Twinkie, and the other one's like Cracker Jacks. I don't know what Cracker Jacks is though.
American.
Yeah.
American.
And I thought having them as the old people,
it was pretty great.
The wise people were fucking.
And they just
awesome.
sat around and got stoned. It was even better.
Yeah, they give you the.
They use like a kazoo as a.
They use a kazoo as a bong.
Like a bong. It was pretty smart. I had another amazing, my favorite part in the entire film. There's a part where the main character, the sausage, goes on a journey. We have a nice little montage for that with a Meatloaf song. So
sung by a piece of meatloaf.
Sung by a piece of meatloaf. Meatloaf is a piece of meatloaf in this film.
And he's actually got the hair on the box.
It was great. And he makes an appearance later in the film as well on his motorcycle.
On a motorcycle.
It was
hat nod.
great.
That was awesome. As soon as I saw Meatloaf, I lost my shit.
I think the entire cinema, when I went to see it, lost their shit at that point as well.
I fucking loved. You see a group of sausages and buns and stuff, and another shopping items go to a house, and it follows them for a little bit. And they're all thinking they've been selected by their guards. They're sitting in the kitchen, they're like, "This is great, yeah!" And then you realise she picks up the woman picks up a potato and holds it to outside a window, and the moon closes over with clouds and gets dark and stormy. You hear this Irish potato being skinned alive and then boiled in hot water.
It was great.
And
it's pretty kind of full. There's a reason why you should not take a kid to this.
No. That was awesome. I found it really disturbing. Like, this is horror, but this is hilarious. Like, you see sausages getting cut in half. And
there's a great Saving Private Ryan scene. I don't want to go too much into detail because we're basically spoiling the whole movie now, but...
The last one I liked is because everything is alive. Cheese is alive. And Dorito chips are alive. So the woman grates the cheese over the chips. And the guy's like, "Oh my god," his head's getting grated. And it's landing on the chips. He's like, "Don't worry, chips." Then she puts them in the microwave and they all start melting alive.
Yeah,
and it was
they
just...
get severely burnt.
Oh, fucked.
This is an adult movie in every way.
Yeah, if you've seen the trailers, you can see it's horrifying, but it's fucking hilarious.
It's very intelligent film. It's a very refreshing film in general because something like this has never been done before.
No.
I've never seen a children's animation film squarely for adults, and not just an adult M-rated film. We've jumped straight to American R, MA15 plus if you're Australian.
It's essentially like Seth Rogen's watched Team America and gone, "I can fuck him up."
It's not a competition.
But Seth Rogen's pretty up there now when it comes to this. Okay, want to go to ratings?
Alright, since we do everything alcohol in here.
For those of you who are listening for the first time, we would rate the film if it is a drink at a bar or a pub, and if we would order it again. Generally, you can tell by what we've given it. And what would you rate this?
This wasn't a hard one to rate. Because like I said, there are moments in this film where it loses its traction, so to speak. But the quality of the humour, the quality of the voice acting, the quality of the entire idea overall, how fresh this was. Although because it's something that's never been done before, it threw me off a little for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. And then you see a bumper stick that says Dixar on it as well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there's a nice little nod there. So it's a hard one to rate. I'm going to go ahead and give this one... I'm going to give this one an espresso martini.
Oh, go on.
The reason I'm going to give it an espresso martini is this is not everyone's taste.
Okay.
And espresso martinis are definitely not everyone's taste. Because not only do you have to like cocktails, you have to like coffee as well. And that's very much like this film. You have to like animated films for one thing. But you also have to like this extremely in-your-face humor.
Yes.
So if you like both of those things, you're going to love this movie. If you don't really like even one of those things, you're going to struggle. So an espresso martini, a great drink. Don't get me wrong, but you have to like espresso martinis.
Okay, that's a good one. For mine, I'm going to give it straight Kahlua on rocks.
Oh, yeah?
So it's one of those ones where you're like, generally I haven't really found someone who doesn't really like Kahlua, whether it be mixed or with milk or in another drink or something like that. But I find
that's because we're alcoholics. That's why we haven't met them.
We haven't met anyone who doesn't like alcohol. But I find that this is one of those films that you like Toy Story, then it ticks your animation box. You like to laugh, it ticks your comedy box. But do you like to be pushed out of your comfort zone, especially with that sex scene? Then you're going to need to try it without the milk. And I think it's one of those films that you're laughing your ass off as soon as it starts. It's got a dip here or there. The sex scene is awkward as balls. But when you walk out of the film, you're just like, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
At least I found that.
And it's been getting good reviews as well. The film as a whole, from all the reviews I've been seeing, it has been getting quite good reviews. So...
At the moment on IMDb, it's got a 7.2 out of 10. So far, it's already beating like Suicide Squad and Batman, Superman. But I think
hard to compare to those movies though. At the same time, it's actually quite a high rating for a comedy in general, if you think about it. But
yes.
Again, it's a new film, so it's it might its ratings will dip.
It's also got all the nudity, sex and nudity, 7 out of 10. There's lots of parts in this film that it's just like, no.
If I can say anything about this, it is, do not for the life of you ever take your child to see this.
Never take a kid to see it.
This film says MA15+, it means MA15+.
I still couldn't believe this kid would have been 10 and he was in there, and he has learnt, 1, a hell of a lot of new words, 2, he knows what to do with a bathtub plug, and 3, he now knows what a douche is for.
Yeah, pretty revolting. There was a similar thing in mine where there was I think it was a mother and a child who had gone to see it, and while we were walking out of the cinema, I heard the mother saying to the child, I told you it was going to be like this.
I actually saw something better than the mother and child, and they walked in with booze, and they were fucking loving it, and it was an elderly couple.
Really?
Yeah, they walked in like...
That's great.
We went to the Cinema Europa or whatever, and we've walked in, and we've held the door open, and I'm like, I don't think these people should be in here, and they're like sitting down with their little packs of like Withers candy and stuff like that, and I'm like...
people candy.
They're sitting there with...
Take out their dentures.
But I'm just like, it's either we've walked into the wrong theatre, or like... I was just, by the look of them, they just had like a glass of white wine and they were pulling out Withers candy and stuff. And I'm like, okay. And they were the last people to get up and leave. They're like, oh, I want to see to the end credits. I'm like, what the fuck? And the kid walking out of there was like shaking his fucking... You could hear the ice cream.
Scarred for life.
But yeah, that's Sausage Party.
Would you stop with the damn drumming?
Well, I'm sorry. I just was really getting into your story.
So, Ian, comic book this week. I've chosen 2 DC ones in a row. Should probably pick a Marvel one. I don't have a favourite stoner as a stoner themed comic, but I have a favourite. Read this book and laughed aloud on a packed CBD train, which I've done multiple times in the past couple of weeks. My book for this week's, for at least comedies, is Night of the Living Deadpool. So, you know nothing about this, do you?
No.
As it comes to every
Of course,
comic.
I've read some Deadpool comics, and I've seen the film, which was amazing.
So the story for this is Deadpool awakens from a food coma in New York City, overrun with sentient zombies. Can the Merc with a Mouth essentially avoid the zombies, save humanity, and live on the rest of his life? Everyone else is dead. Captain America is dead.
Really?
Iron Man is... They're all fucking dead.
The whole world.
Deadpool's woken up from a chimichanga overdose. It actually starts off, and the actual... It's all done in The Walking Dead black and white, except for Deadpool, who's in red.
That's great.
It's fucking hilarious. It gets a little bit of colour here and there, but it's all black and white.
I'm going to have to borrow this one.
It's Deadpool makes a torch by putting a torch into a zombie's head and then holding it like a lantern. It's fucking awesome. Definitely a must-read. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, and if you loved the Deadpool film, check it.
And Deadpool's basically a stoner comedy anyway. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. I find this is... If you've watched the Deadpool film, you found it funny, you like The Walking Dead, pick this up.
Who's done this book?
This book is done by Cullen Bunn and Raymond Rosanas. I loved it. Essentially, as soon as I read it again. It is a small book. It's only 1 to 4 issues, so you'll be able to read it fairly quickly. But for me, I wish there was a little bit more here or there, but it's also a standalone book. It's not one of those books that continues, or you need to read this book to understand it.
A lot of the Deadpool books are standalone comics, from what I've seen.
Some of them are, some of them aren't, but this is definitely one that, if you know zombies, you know Deadpool, even from movies and TV shows, just grab it and read it. It's not expensive as well. It's a fairly cheap book. It's roughly set you back about $20 or so, but that's my comic book review for the week. 1 minute tacos, next minute dead. Tagline for it.
Excellent. Well, let's move into the next segment, which is a little bit different. We have done our video game, keeping with the theme. We have done our video game top 5 before. We're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to do a video game and TV, top 3 for each. So this is going to be, obviously, keeping the theme of stoner comedy. We're going to go through the top stoner comedy characters in video games and TV. So we'll start off with video games. In third place, I've given it to Snorlax from Pokemon.
Now remind me, I haven't played... Everyone's on Pokemon Go. I don't give a fuck. For those of you who are with me, but who don't give a fuck about Pokemon Go, what's Snorlax?
Snorlax is a giant blue and white, I believe. He's basically a giant blue and white creature that sleeps a huge amount, many hours. In the original video game, he blocked a path, and you had to go and find a special flute that would wake him up.
Oh, shit, was that in Red and Blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yes,
you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snorlax is the biggest stoner because he sleeps like a motherfucker.
Doesn't he eat as well? He just gets up, eats, and falls back
He
asleep?
basically lives like a stoner. He has the munchies and sleeps. He eats, I think, like, bloody 200 times his body weight or something, and then just passes out for, like, 72 hours or something ridiculous. So, in our second position, we've got...
It's me, Mario!
We've got Mario. For those who know Mario well, you'll know that Mario loves his mushrooms. Mario has mushrooms that give him life. He's got mushrooms that make him bigger. He's got mushrooms that make him giant, the size of a screen.
He's got mushrooms that make him go faster.
He's got mushrooms that make him tiny.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Tiny little Mario.
What else does he pick up, though? He picks up a leaf.
Yeah, picks up a leaf and he can fly. He picks up a leaf and he gets high.
It's a leaf, he could shoot fireballs. If he picks up a plant, he shoots fireballs.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you think about it, Mario's
a fucking tripper. He rides around on a bloody dinosaur.
Yeah, that's got to be the best plumbing job ever. What do you do on your days off? Mushrooms, leaves, fire plants.
Just get high with my brother, really. Just sit around and do mushrooms.
Is Luigi his actual brother?
Yeah. They were dropped off in a stalk together.
Well, it is called Mario Brothers.
Not Mario Step Brothers.
Stalk Brothers.
You're not my real brother. Storms off.
And what have you got for number one?
Number one, we've got Kirby. Kirby, you know what? Kirby is unlike to Mario or Snorlax. He doesn't have drug tendencies, so to speak. But if you've ever played a Kirby game, you will absolutely know that this game is on drugs. Basically, Kirby inhales and he can fly. And he can suck in bad guys. The video game art style of these games is extremely colourful and over the top. It is the most trippy game, in my opinion, you'll ever play. Kirby has to be a stoner. Has to be. Or at least the makers were.
Alright, and TV.
Right, so now we're going to move into TV, our top three. I've got my number 3 position, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If anyone has ever watched anything to do with TMNT, you will know Michelangelo has got to be a stoner. He sits around and eats pizza, and his humour, my god, he's basically Shaggy. He's basically Shaggy. And that was one of my picks. I know that you had a particular pick from another TV show that you worked in there. So we've given him the second position. Who do you want to give that to?
We've given it to the awesome and reliable from The Simpsons, Otto.
My old man said I was wasting my time and I'd never amount to anything.
We've given it to Otto. Essentially, how is the dude not on?
Oh no,
tell me, yeah.
If you've ever seen him at
he goes to a music console and his shoes
My
talk
hands are so great; they can touch everything but themselves.
Whoa! And then he looks down at his shoes. Don't worry, Otto. We just want to party. And he's whoa.
It's crazy.
If Otto backwards spells Otto. Oh man, I gotta sit down.
And our number one position, there was nobody that could have toppled this person as the biggest stoner on TV. Nobody could ever do this. South Park, Towelie.
Hold on. Wait a second. That's it? Yeah, that's the melody of Funky Town. Won't you take me down to Funky Town? You want to get high?
Tally is great. Tally is a towel. It was created by the army, I believe. He has an entire episode dedicated to himself, talking about his backstory and how he's created by these people. And
it was used as a weapon, wasn't it? To suck the moisture out of people.
Yeah. Can you imagine a towel where after you use it, you feel too dry?
And then they made like an evil Tally who was buff.
Yeah. It's great. It's a great episode.
Cool. I think that's it for our list today, and possibly the end for our show this week. We didn't do the quiz this week, essentially because, well, we didn't.
We didn't deal with it.
Ian, is there anything that you're doing this week that you wanna limelight or mention or anything, or nah?
Am I doing something this week? I bought a cat.
You want to name drop the cat?
Yeah. We adopted a little kitten today. My girlfriend and I. Noodle.
Noodle.
Yeah, 3-4 month kitten, black and grey. Noodle's its name.
Noodle Johnson. So, that's gonna be great.
Basically, Dick.
Cool. So we'll put a photo up on that on our Instagram page just to show off a little noodle.
Everyone likes kittens.
Show off a little noodle.
You're a little noodle.
But I think that's it for this week's show. So
don't forget that we are putting up our podcast on YouTube as well as all the podcasting apps and obviously iTunes. The tune.
Yes. So we're putting all those up. We've got our Instagram, which has 3 photos. We have our Facebook, which you manage. The Twitter, which I manage, because you don't know how to use Twitter.
I don't get it, guys. I just don't get it. Our Facebook.
I already mentioned the Facebook that you manage.
Yeah. I just want to mention it again.
Anyway, that is Shaken Not Nerd for episode... This is episode 3.
Time flies when you're having fun, guys.
Yes, we've gotten new mics. We've gotten soundproof boxes, which we'll put photos up of as well.
We're always looking for feedback, guys. So anything you would love to see us do, anything that you feel we could do better, if you guys are interested... I'm hoping that eventually, if we get enough people, we'll be able to start putting recordings of our podcasts, actual videos, on YouTube. Let us know if that would interest you guys.
Yes. Let us know if you would like Ian to spend money on a video camera and a tripod.
I don't need your permission, guys. I like to spend money.
Yeah, fair enough.
Treat yourself. So thanks to everyone that's responded to us with all our...
questions,
Twitter
feedback.
polls.
We had a lot of votes this week as well for the Twitter poll, actually.
I believe it basically doubled since last time.
Again and again and again and again.
Yes.
We had 41 votes.
41, yeah.
I remember our first Twitter poll, we had like 12. 6.
A lot. But yeah, we really want to thank you for all your support, everyone. So let us know anything you'd like to see us do. We'll give it a shot, providing it's audio friendly. But thanks everyone for your support, and we're hoping to see you again next week for our next podcast.
So I'm Alex Doody Dootram at Doody Dootram on Twitter.
And I'm Ian Hughes Johnson. You can find me on Twitter also.
iJohnson92.
So we hope to see you soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Wait. 3 measures of Gordon's, 1 of vodka, half a measure of quinoa lily. Shake it over rice and then add a thin slice of lemon.
Shaken or stirred?
Do I look like I give a damn?